How many people of you know that you do something and you start a journey, you've got no clue where it ends? Well, that's a story for Gerald and a story for me. When I was starting using Wireshark, I didn't know I ended up here. The same goes for pinball. Who has played pinball in their life? Recently? Couple? Good. Well, I played pinball in high school. We had like a little parties for the school parties, and there was a pinball, and it was always broken, but sometimes you could play, and I played it a couple of times. And I was this smart kid. I didn't want to put my pennies in the pinball machine because I thought I can use the money better. So actually, I didn't play pinball at all. But then a friend of mine, she asked for her birthday money for a pinball machine. And, okay. And then I got a new house. And it's got some nice space, and there's room left. And I thought, what am I going to do with this space? So why not buy a pinball machine? So how do you buy a pinball machine? So I started Googling, and okay, I can buy it with a dealer, but then the dealer, how do you maintain it? Because it gets broken all the time. And why is my thing not working? I'll do it like this. So there's a dealer side, and you can buy a pinball from a dealer, but it's more expensive, and if you need to do maintenance, it's pretty expensive. And so I started Googling, and there's all kinds of stuff on pinballs on the internet. There's a database of all the pinballs. There's serial numbers that can be registered. There's the pinball owners database where you can say which pinballs you have. And I ended up with a pinball society in Holland. It's a pinball society that has like 1,200 members in Holland and Belgium, and they have forums, and they have meetings, and they have a clubhouse where there's 120 pinball machines. So I went over there to see, how does this work? I played some pinball, and there was a lecture on something, and I met this guy. He lives in Rotterdam. He has a couple of pinball machines at home. And he said, well, I'll help you. And I had a neighbor that had a friend who has a pinball machine on the attic that hasn't been used for 10 years. So I thought, what an opportunity. Let's see if I can get that one and work on it. But like pinballs, they're pretty old. They're 40 years old, 30, 40 years old. And they break down. So I asked around, like, what do I need to know of this pinball that is worth buying? I mean, if the motherboard is broken and if the display is broken, you better not buy it because it's a waste of money. So on the motherboard, there was this battery that had some oxidation, which is normally really bad. But I looked around on the circuit board, and it looked like it was really focused on the batteries only. So I decided to buy it. Took it apart. Needed some maintenance. Cleared the play field, moved all the bad stuff out, ordered some new stuff, and there it was, my pinball machine. On the spot there, I wanted it, and then I thought, well, when I was sitting on my couch and looking at the kitchen, which is on this side of the house, you see a little bit of the kitchen there, and it was just in the way. It couldn't be there. But I moved it to the other side of the house, or the other side of the living room, and started playing. And this was a New Year's Eve party that I organized, and it took a lot of attention, a pinball machine. I've got 1 minute left, I need to hurry up. Okay, when there's one, there's going to be two, and I think there's room for three, but my girlfriend won't allow it yet, so we'll see. Then I got my own high score. Actually, I'm pretty bad at playing, but I like playing. And it turns out there's all kinds of tournaments. So there's a local competition that you can, within the Pinball Society. So I'm the captain of my local pinball competition. And that gives you more friends. This was at another house. And then there was this great event in the Evoluon, which is, have anybody seen the Evoluon? It's like this UFO kind of building. It was a technical museum first, but they shut the museum down. It's now a conference center. And that's where the 25th birthday of the, I'm almost done. The 25th birthday of the society was held. So it was filled with pinballs, more than 450 pinballs on all the rings. People playing, there were lectures from old guys from the industry that designed these pinballs. And so that was really great. And When you do maintenance on a pinball machine, it's nothing like doing maintenance on Wireshark. It's analog, so digital rules don't apply, even if it's digital. I troubleshooted an issue with some switch, and all the logic pointed to this transistor needed to be replaced. So I replaced the transistor, didn't help. In the end, it turned out to be a connector that's just a little bit loose. So all your troubleshooting goes down the drain. And you even need your phone, if you're as old as me, you need the phone to, to magnify what you're doing because you can't see the little things. So when you start a journey by just taking one step, you never know where this journey is going to end. Like for me, the Wireshark journey brought me on stage here, and I don't know what this journey will be, but it's been a fun ride for the last 2.5 years so far. So thank you.